We have a poll question up. Who should be the Steelers' RB1? Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren. So far, about a 50-50 split. I'm not really sure the people who think Najee should be the RB1. I'm not really sure what they're basing it on, because it definitely isn't what he has done to this point in the season. He has been, as far as running back production, the worst, the most inefficient back in the entire league to date. He's one of the biggest, I think, disappointments in the NFL this season. He's, I think, the biggest disappointment on the Steelers roster this year. Is there a guy, in your opinion, boys, that has been a bigger underachiever than Najee based on what you thought a player could do when the season started to what they've done to this point?
I think Deontay's been pretty bad.
Okay.
Actually. But no, I mean, based on what was supposed to be the case, like, hey, it didn't really matter if Trubisky had the job coming out or if Pickett did because they were going to run their offense through Najee, like that whole idea. Based on that being the prevailing sentiment before the season, no. I mean, you had to have the highest expectations for Najee, and he's delivered nothing.
I thought he was the Steelers' best offensive player. Not like years from now when I think Kenny Pickett is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but what I think they were going to be able to do this year, I thought Najee was going to be their guy. And we're at the halfway point, and I'm applauding the coach for potentially benching him. He's been so god-awful. Donnie, anybody else? Chris says Deontay Johnson. That's not a bad one, I suppose.
No, it's not a bad one, but I still think it's Najee Harris by a pretty wide margin. He came into the year. Usually you want to see guys start to thrive in their second season. Sometimes there is a sophomore slump. But even though he wasn't blowing people away last year, he still showed promise. You know, he only had, I think, 3.9 yards per carry last year, but he still ran for over 1,000 yards. He was a threat out of the backfield in the pass game. He went into the offseason. He put on muscle weight. He got mad at the media. He acted like a jackass. He said, "You guys are calling me fat."
Wow, a jackass comment, Ballsy.
He comes into the season, and he looks like Tarzan, and he's playing like Jane.
Wow. I mean, I'll stop Donnie when he tells a lie.